Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot. Oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls. I'm your host, Patricia Baker. I'm here with my co-host, the lovely PK, Patricia Kirkman.
You're so sweet.
Well, there you are, just looking lovely in the heat.
You got that right. I'll tell you what, not ready for this. I've got the air conditioning jacked up as high as I can make it without burning it out.
Oh, my goodness.
Ridiculous.
Wow.
But Life 101 goes on.
Yeah, it's life in the desert. Wow. Well, what a great show we have tonight.
Yes, we do.
Our dear friend, the most talented psychic medium that we know, Michelle Clare. Yes. She's with us, also from Arizona tonight.
She's in a hotter spot than I am, which is good.
I know, really. Oh.
Get to share it with her.
I guess you do. I'm in 70 degrees. That's all I can tell you. It's kind of chilly. I wish it was a little warmer. Well, but not that warm. Not like 105, 110. That's a bit much.
Well, you don't like to share.
No. But anyways, she's going to be with us tonight. She's going to be talking about her not one, not two, actually, it is 3 near-death experiences. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. Her life is incredible. She's incredible. She's with us tonight. She will be offering some lucky listeners some free readings. And, of course, she's got to check in with us to see what's happening on the other side. So you're welcome to call in. And I'm going to ask Chanel if she will post the number again so you can see it on our screen. And you can give a call in and see if you have a specific question for Michelle. And the number is 855-472-5483. So give us a call. So PK, what's going on with the numbers? Where do we
see? It's all about money this month.
Oh.
And today is a money day. Okay. So the month and the day are alike. So anything that you want to do investing wise, this is a good day to take a good look at it. And it's a good time to really kind of reevaluate what you want to do with your money. This month is good to pay attention to what you want to have. Next month, you're going to wrap up a lot of stuff. But right now, take advantage of the opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities for us when the 8th month is around because it deals with our finances. It deals with our wanting to be in control. And it deals with putting things out in front so we can pick it up and run with it. Heck, it might even be just a lotto ticket you want to buy. If you win $5, great. If you could win more than that, but you never know. But you can't get out and find out if you don't play to win.
That's right. You got to play to win. I'm all for that.
And same thing with our personal investments. This is a perfect month to take a look at your investments and things you've got going on. Make whatever changes you have to because it's all about your financial situation. Fix it, work with it. Next month, a different ballgame.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
wrapping up next month, but financial abundance or maybe the opposite. So really watch your finances.
Oh, Definitely. Pay attention. This is the time I had somebody call me one day. They were in a store. And they had these jelly beans and they had to count how many jelly beans. She said, I kept thinking you were saying it was a good month for numbers. So I did. She said, I won $150.
Oh, good for her. That's great.
You just never know what you're going to win it on. But
yes,
it's always more than you walked in with.
Well, why not give it a try, right?
Sure.
Yes. Well, I'm for it.
I'm going to look for jelly beans.
Well, let's get to the show because we only have a little less than an hour and I want Michelle to come on and tell us all about her. And you can reach Michelle Clare at michelleclaire.net. If you would like your own private reading, Michelle also does group readings. She just does everything, and she's
Yes,
great
she
at
does.
everything. So
Excellent.
let's bring her on the show. She is a psychic medium. She is world renowned. She's working on a new book. So all things are going forward for you, Michelle. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me back. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Great to have you. Well, just to get everything started for people that may not have heard your incredible story of what happened, can you summarize these amazing and scary experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me start with a little background. I was raised Catholic, so I did have this belief in a higher power. I believed that there were angels and saints, Mother Mary, all wanting to help me. So in that way, it was a really good background for me. I grew up thinking, hey, the whole universe is wanting to help us. One of the times that I found my first challenge with that was when I was in first grade and my dog died. And my Sunday school teacher said to me, well, your dog didn't go to heaven. They don't have souls.
What?
And I remember being absolutely crushed. And so at that point in time, I started to say, I feel like I know better, even though I'm, in first grade. But what happened then was I just kind of went on with this knowing, or a higher knowing is what I would say, than it being a religion. And when I was 12, my grandfather, he passed away. And once he transitioned, what I realized is he and I were still communicating. And so I would tell my mom, Grandpa says, whatever. And my mom would say, well, that's what you think he would say if he was still here. And so I realized, I'm like, wait, not everybody's talking to Grandpa, because, it was a pretty clear connection. So I just learned to keep that kind of to myself. My grandma transitioned some years later, same situation. I share it with my mom what grandma's saying, and she says, well, that's what you think she would say. And so I just kind of go on with life. And then what happens in April of 2000, at this point in my life, I was newly married and I didn't have kids. And we were actually at the hospital that day in Tucson, PK, to visit my sister-in-law who was having her baby. And what happened was I was in the hallway talking to her RN, who was actually my friend from high school, and I had a massive seizure. And what I remember is opening my eyes. I am laying with my head in my grandma's lap, and she is the youngest, most beautiful version of her I could remember. And she's just gently smiling at me. And I start to notice that I am in this timeless space with blissful love. I look around and I see that I'm in what appears to be almost like a white room, but the walls appear to be alive. So it's as if every cell or molecule within them is radiating this light and love. And as I'm looking around this space, I look next to my grandma and I realize there's about a 12-foot tall angel standing next to her. And this angel was beyond magnificent. I truly felt drawn into her presence. And I remember going to look for her feather wings, because we all know they have feather wings, but they were actually made of light. And they seemed to move and kind of be like the aurora borealis, where they were like, there were flashes of color that would kind of move through them.
That's
And
amazing.
it was absolutely, yes, awe-inspiring.
Phenomenal.
And as I was looking at her, I thought in my head, what is your name? And she answered me. She said her name was Madeline and that she was one of my guardian angels. And I was a little bit surprised because I didn't know anything about telepathic communication. I just knew that she knew what I was thinking. So the next thing I know, I hear someone yelling, code, code, code. And I had quit breathing since I was in the hospital. They were calling the code team. And I am slammed back in my body. It felt like I dropped out of a 2-story building. I felt dense. It felt heavy. My arm felt like it weighed 500 pounds.
My goodness.
And I just knew I had had this experience. But at that point in my life, I didn't know the term near-death experience. No one around me did. So I knew I had this amazing experience. It took me a couple weeks to start telling people about it. But really what that was for me, I felt like was an awakening more to the angelic realm, and the fact that, heaven knows what we're doing. My grandma and that angel knew I was coming. I didn't know I was going to visit them, but they were right there waiting for me.
So you had no signs or symptoms that anything like that was going to happen. It just happened out of the blue.
Correct. And I never had a seizure before that, or never had one after that. They admitted me to the hospital. They did head scans, heart scans. They couldn't find anything.
Amazing.
It is amazing.
Yes. So
you survived all these things, and that's the amazing on top of what already is existing for you. When you see the angel that you were looking at, you were given a name. How did that make you feel when you were looking back on it after the fact?
Oh my goodness, very peaceful. And there was this part about, I felt like she had known me my whole life. That was the thing. I was in awe of her, but she didn't feel like a stranger to me or an energy that I didn't already know in some way.
Do you think, since we say we all have guardian angels with us, do you feel that each one of us has someone present enough that if we were to try through prayer or what other choice we have to communicate with that angel that's our guide?
Yeah, I think we all have at least one guardian angel, and many people have more than that. So their ability, they are tuned into us all of the time, listening to our radio station or our frequency. The challenge is for us to tune into their radio station or their frequency, right? To get the two-way communication going.
How do we do that? What's a good example of a way that we can do that?
Yeah. So I like to say kind of, yes, meditation, but I think that's used a lot. So, and the other way I would use that is sometimes when people are driving, they get their aha moments, or in the shower, or they say, let me sleep on it. Or so find those moments in your day where you get these aha moments and then expand upon them and use them with intention.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yes, that's wonderful advice. Now, we do have a caller on the line who would like to talk to you.
Okay.
Name is Deborah. So, Chanel, go ahead and get Deborah on with us. Hi, Deborah. Are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you, Michelle, for being on so you can help us with some information. And I'm so glad to hear your story because I can't say that I've had as profound an experience as you with angels, but I just love them. And I can't, other than the major angels like Gabriel and Raphael and Uriel and Michael, I can't say I know others, but I also loved when you talked about being raised Catholic, and then when they told you that animals didn't have any souls, and I was a very rebellious 5-year-old, and I go, but then I'm not going to heaven.
Right. I don't blame you. I wouldn't go either. If there aren't animals, I'm not going.
Yes.
I'm not going. But I guess my question, is around angels. And that is, I don't know if you also pick up the presence of angels around other people, or is it primarily what you pick up in your own life?
No, I pick them up around others too. I do angel readings also.
Okay. So I'm just, curious if you pick the presence of any angels around me. And I've also had a couple of people I really love cross over, and I don't know whether or not you feel their presence.
Okay, let's at least start with the angels, because what I want to say to you is I specifically feel Archangel Raphael coming in, talking about healing. So either you're doing some type of physical, mental, or emotional healing work right now, or you're calling in that energy. So I want to acknowledge that, because what I'm feeling is you are going to have, and whether it's emotional, like let's just say, oh, you're having some more like sad times, or mental, you're struggling with something. What I'm feeling is that by August, you're really going to be moving through this into an area where you are feeling more grounded and clear, is what they are saying. And then at that point in time, you're going to be able to make more decisions. So you do have some decisions coming up. Are you already aware of this?
Well, I think my whole my whole life has been making decisions, but there's nothing prominent right now that's in my life other than some curiosity about just about pathways.
Okay. So let me just tell you, the month they're telling me is October. So that is going to be a month where you're going to be making some bigger decisions. And when you say pathways, whether that's about career or, what do I want to do with my free time? I don't know. It doesn't necessarily feel like a move to me, but it feels like it's going to be a decision that's going to affect your life more. I mean, and let's be honest, that could be you saying, hey, I'm taking up golf and I'm going to be on the course 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. It doesn't mean that it has to be something, scary or big, which people sometimes think. But October has a really strong energy for it's time to make some decisions for you. So I want to say that with your angels while you're working on this healing energy. Now, when I feel guardian angels around you, I get the number 2. I feel one that has a male, more of a masculine energy, and one that has more of a female energy. The female energy is the one that's sending you a lot of feathers. So are you finding feathers yet?
I find feathers all my life.
Yeah. So that feels
often.
That's your female guardian angel energy that I feel that's connecting to the feathers. And then the other one is the male energy, and his energy is, it's interesting what he's showing me. It feels like it's almost like what I would say are, I'm going to call them like sticks. So I know this is going to be really interesting, but like once in a while, my dog will come in the house and it has this little like 2-inch stick in its coat. And I'm like, where did this come from? But that's the energy that this angel is showing me. So think about like where in your life you might walk in the house. You're like, how did this little tiny stick get in here? I don't know, but I want to acknowledge that. Because that's about, that angel is working with you on your structure. So when I go to structure, the next thing that I go to, how is your bone health? How are your joints? How's your structure?
Well, I think in the aging process, things do start to shift and change. And so it's hard to say whether or not there's, it's just the aging process, because I'm 73. So you can't expect to feel like you're 20, but overall I feel good.
Yeah. So I would just say the energy that I have with your structure, be proactive. So whether you're supposed to be taking calcium and vitamin D or whatever that is right now, it's the time to be proactive, because they're talking about your physical structure. This male guardian angel is also the one that would have helped you when you were creating things with structure throughout your lifetime. So whether you were building something maybe physical, or you're building a new program, or you were building the itinerary for the vacation, whatever you're building, this is where that structure energy comes from for you. And then I think I want to go with a mom energy. So has mom already passed?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got to talk about mom coming in. I got to talk about the butterflies, because she's showing me butterflies. She tells me to say you were sent from heaven. So you actually have a very innate knowing of higher abilities or higher connection to source. So this is what your mom is saying for you. That doesn't mean your mom was open to it. You might have been one of these kids that said, Mom, I saw the angel in my room last night. And she's like, no, you didn't. You were dreaming. There's that energy around it, but you have a natural gift and a natural connection that is right there. Your mom's also showing me the number 3. So I will tell you, I think your mom's going to send you 333. I don't know if you're one of 3 kids or there's a connection to the month of March or the 3rd of a month, but I'm seeing 333. So I need to acknowledge that with your mom. And she's telling me also one more thing as a sign from her, rainbow light. So you'll see not just the rainbows in the sky, but rainbows that are coming in the window or through the glass of water. But, it's not always the big one in the sky, but it's going to be these little ones that are showing up. You do have travel too. So your mom's saying you're going to be traveling. So I want to acknowledge that also.
Okay. Well, that's very helpful. Just one last thing. Do you pick up anything around a person that passed? His name was Chris.
Was that a more recent passing, like in the last couple of years?
Yeah, a year ago.
Yeah. I definitely feel his energy coming in. He puts his hand on your heart. So he's acknowledging I'm going to say the heart trauma, or the grief that goes with his passing. So I can definitely feel that with him. There's also this part about when I say heart, I think he sends you hearts, to let you know that he's around. So pay attention for the heart-shaped stones, or even like a heart shadow on your wall, or a heart made of light on your wall. I don't know. These are the things that he's showing me, but he says, I know you talk to me all the time. So whenever you are thinking to him or speaking to him out loud, please know that he's hearing you.
That's
Wow,
nice.
Nice.
That's very helpful. Very helpful. Thank you so much. I don't want to hold you up because I know there's more callers, but that was very helpful, Michelle, and I appreciate it. And thank you, Patricia and PK, for taking my call.
You are so welcome.
Definitely.
Thanks for calling in, Deborah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all. Have a great night.
You too.
You too.
There was somebody who was texting in who said she wanted a reading. Now, Creative Arts. She said, "Hi, can I get a reading, please? I really need one." And I guess she doesn't want to call in. So
Okay.
are you able to do that, Michelle, without a voice?
Yeah, I can do it without a voice, but if there's a specific question, please text that in, because that gives me a direction and a point. Otherwise, what I will tell you that I'm feeling for you, if you have a question, please send it in. But you do have a lot of change right now. And the way that the life guides are showing it to me for you, it's like the earth is still moving. So you are either in the aftershocks of the earthquake, but there's still movement under you. Things are going to settle down, but not until October, which is when they show me you planting your feet solid on the ground. So at that point in time, you're going to either decide, this is the job I want, this is where I want to live, this is who I'm going to be. But they're wanting me to tell you, claim what you want. There's a little bit of energy of confusion around you right now. So you might be somebody who's saying, I don't even know what I want right now. And that's okay. But your job in the next couple months is to figure that out, because the universe is going to respond once you claim it and you really grow your roots and say, this is mine. Here's where I'm going now. I want you to also watch your digestive tract. They just said digestion. So I don't know if you're having any food allergies or any situations like that. But if you are, your digestion tract to me feels almost like it's on fire or easily inflamed. So if you're not having any symptoms yet, great. Be careful what you're eating and think about all the emotion that you're literally trying to digest, because I can feel that is hot and on fire.
Oh, that's good to know. I don't see any other text messages coming in from Creative Arts. So Creative Arts, if you have a specific question, then please text it in so that we can ask Michelle from your text. But I'm not seeing anything. So maybe you covered it all.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, there's a caller on the line. All right, let's find out who this is. So let's see if they have a name. Chanel is screening our calls, so we will see who's waiting. And it is Bob Luca. Okay. So, hi, Bob. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much, Patricia, Michelle, and PK.
Hello, love.
Hi, Bob.
How you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Oh, very well, thank you.
Good. How can I be of service? Do you have a question?
Yeah, my wife passed about 2.5 years ago, and I was wondering if she or any other relative might have any message for me.
Yeah, well, I love that. So first of all, as soon as you say that, I feel her touching your head or your face in your sleep. So you might notice that while you're sleeping, you feel like you have a little fuzz or a little feather or a little tickle on your face or nose. That's the energy that she's giving me. So I want to talk about her being around you a lot then, even to the point where you actually might feel like the bed indents and she's laying next to you, because there's that energy. She's talking about too, with your expanded vision. And when she says expanded vision, it doesn't just mean vision to me. It actually is kind of like what you're feeling, knowing, seeing, all of that energy. She's talking about for you, you're going to get more and more glimpses of her. So if you actually thought that you have seen her yet out of the corner of your eye, or you've had, I don't want to necessarily use the word an apparition, but like a visual of her.
Well, she did. She showed up when I was in the hospital, and it was witnessed by another person.
Okay. So she's confirming that because she's saying like there was a vision or an apparition of her. I just don't want to make that. Sometimes we say apparition, people think spooky. It's not. It was, I want to use the, actually, she just gave me the word. She said manifestation, Michelle. So it was a physical manifestation. She just clarified it of her to be there around you. And that is also because she's so good at this. That's also why you might actually feel the bed indent or her snuggling up next to you, because I can feel specifically the right side of my body tingling right now.
Yes, I have had that experience.
Yeah. So she's just validating all of this. She's wanting me to say your connection with her is already very strong. So it's kind of funny. I want to say, like, you guys don't really need me. The two of you have got a good thing going on here. But my job today is to validate that all of this is real, and that love that she has for you is truly eternal. She's really clear about whatever happened in the hospital. It was not your time. And there's almost like this part about her being there to be like, no, Bob, no, Bob, no, not yet, Bob. There's like this energy of saying it's not your time. You're not done.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, fantastic.
Good.
Thank you so much. I needed to hear that.
Yeah, because you might have, there was probably maybe a piece of your soul that was like, I'd sure like to go home now. But I literally feel her presence also wanting to say it's not your time. And I'm still walking through this human life with you.
That's wonderful.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Patricia, I appreciate you having me on. And PK.
Yes, dear.
Bye, PK.
Bye, sweetheart.
That was so flirtatious. I love it. Betty doesn't get jealous.
Not of me. She never would.
What a beautiful reading, Michelle. Thank you for
That was lovely. That really was. He definitely needed that right now, too.
Yeah. And Betty was, as you know, we all thought the highest of high of Betty.
Yeah.
She was an amazing woman. So still is, just not here with us. So,
Right.
yeah. So how about Chanel? Chanel, how about you? Ready?
Well, hi everyone. Thanks for getting me on the show.
Hello.
You're our favorite girl. You better be on the show.
Yeah.
You're too kind, PK.
Do you have a question?
Yeah. Is there any messages that you have for me, Michelle?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty broad. So if you have something a little more specific, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just dive into that. But that's like saying, hey, where should I swim in the ocean? It's a big ocean, right?
Mhm.
I guess one thing I've noticed is my ears ring a lot. I don't know if that's just due to like hearing damage. It's something that I've noticed since I was a little kid. I know that sometimes there are different pitches or for different lengths of time or different ears. And I've heard that sometimes that's a way of our spirits talking to us. So if you could elaborate more on that. Also, angel numbers. I've heard a little bit about that. I do see 1213 every single day, whether that's at noon or at midnight. I see like 444 a lot, sometimes 555 or 333. And 222. If you could just elaborate on some of those.
Yeah. So, well, I'm going to do some of that. I'm going to let PK do the number part of it. That is her specialty. Angel or no angel, she's the number specialist in my book. But I will say this for you. Your energy is upgrading. So I want you to think about what you do with your soul is like what you're doing with technology. You are connecting to other channels. You are opening up. You are transmitting. You are the frequency, right? And so it's really beautiful the way that I saw you on the show earlier today, and you have this huge board available to you. You have all these little switches and gadgets that I would get lost in, but you know how to work them. And so here's what's really important that your angels are saying, like, this is available to you on a soul level. And what you're learning right now is how to tune them and how to work them. So I want you to think of them all as channels and frequencies. You also have, yes, you have a strong angel connection. You also have a strong ET connection. So I just want to put that out there for you too. Because if you haven't seen a UFO yet, I feel like you're going to see one within the year. I mean, there's just this energy of, we talk about star seeds, and sometimes that's an overused term, but you definitely have that ET connection going on. And I think some of those frequencies that you are hearing and tuning are connecting you to also an ET energy. That is still in a body. So let's talk about, how do ETs communicate? Telepathically, right? And with frequency. So yes, they might have a language, but they know how to communicate with the human form also. And so what I feel like for you is you're not just getting an angelic upgrade with the numbers and some of the higher pitch tones, but you're also getting like a frequency upgrade with ETs and your ability to connect with them or have telepathic communication with them.
Wow, that is fascinating. I will share quickly. My grandmother passed in December, and the day of her funeral, I had gone grocery shopping afterwards with my partner, and the sun had already set. There was still a little bit of light left in the sky, and it just so happened that I looked up and I saw what I could describe as a boomerang, and that was my first sighting that I recall. He saw as well. And yeah, so that was, I mean, as far as I'm aware, that's the only ET contact I've had, but definitely a surreal experience, needless to say. So that's really interesting to know. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah. And did you say that was on the day you had your grandma's service?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So also, I don't live in a world of coincidences. So I would have to say that was perfectly planned by grandma to be like, oh, hey, and by the way,
That's sincere.
Yeah, just so you know, that's kind of the energy. I do want to say your grandma's around you a lot. So she's going to help you with this journey, but she's really about upgrading your frequency and vibration. So you have that higher level of understanding. And that's just going to be the first of many UFO sightings for you.
Wow, that's incredible. Can I ask you one last question before I leave? As far as my grandma passing, I know that when she was here in this lifetime, she was a really religious woman. Has her viewpoints changed since she's passed on? Is she still super harsh and judgmental, or is she a little more forgiving now?
Yeah, right. Well, let me just tell you, graduation from this body is a beautiful thing because we get to step into the higher perspective. So do I feel like she is still, so everything on the other side is about love and compassion. So we're not going to walk over into that heavenly realm. Like, let's say someone doesn't believe in aliens. You're not going to be greeted in heaven by an 8-headed blue alien, because that's going to really upset you. You're going to be like, what? I thought I went to heaven, right? So heaven realm is about love and compassion, and that's how it greets us. So what that also means is if somebody transitions into that realm really stuck in their belief system and believing this is the only way, they're not going to shake them loose. They get the ability to start opening up and understanding more. And I do feel like your grandma's on that journey, but it's also in a way just begun for her too. So she's got a lot of, she's wanting me to say letting go, because I would also say that in your grandma's human form, she carried a lot of resentment and held a lot of things.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, so it's just, is she in that beautiful, safe heavenly realm? Absolutely. Is she growing and healing and evolving? Absolutely. Right now, she's not in the state yet where she's embracing the whole universe for what it is, but she's in the letting go process of beliefs that don't serve her where she is.
Oh, wow. I'm really happy to hear that. I just am so full of love right now. So thank you very much for giving me that insight and for having me on the show. I will let you ladies get back to it. And if there's anyone who would like to call in, I'll be here managing the phone lines. And thank you once again.
Yeah, thank you. PK, let's talk about angel numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you this. Do numbers, because being the master numerologist that you are, the universe is always speaking to us in numbers. Do certain numbers have angelic frequency vibration on them for you?
Oh, I think so. I think anytime we deal with a 7, which is our spiritual number, 9, which is humanity at large, 3, which deals with communication, 2 deals with our sensitivity and a need for a relationship. 2s don't like to be alone. So you put all that together. But anytime we deal with the number 5, it's all about making major changes. That's so very, very important, especially today when we're taking a look at what's going on worldwide. Nobody's sure of which way to go. But I think we all need to converse with our guides. And I think whatever numbers we get, they could always jump on the show and ask questions or look at my site. I'll be happy to answer anything about the numbers, because it's so important, because it's so easy to look at, and we make such a big deal out of it.
Yeah. And I always think too, for people, notice what you're feeling or thinking at that moment when you see 111, 222, 333, because the universe is answering some signal that you're projecting. So, maybe that's like, oh, I'm really excited because, okay, the universe is mirroring it back, or you're going into a place where, you need support. And so be aware of what you're thinking when you see these repeating patterns. And I would also say this, yes, there's a lot of insecurity and instability in the world right now. But I truly feel like, listen, human Michelle cannot go create peace in the Middle East, cannot do all of these things. But what I'm being asked to do, if I could, I would. What I'm being asked to do, and what each of us are being asked to do, is shine our light as bright as we can where we are, because the ripple effect of that on the world actually is massive, because we step into that collective consciousness. So for anyone who's feeling like, I don't matter, I can't make a difference, things are out of control, you matter, shine your light brighter. That's how we start turning things into a place that is stable and loving.
I thoroughly agree with you. I think the most important thing is if we just stop and realize that on a day-to-day basis, we see numbers, we get information, we feel guides around us, and yet we kind of poo-poo, not me, but it's all there for us. Just take advantage of it and learn from what we've got. I was just telling a friend of mine, we were looking at movies, and I said, if you watch a movie or a detective or whatever, you see 5s or 7s or 9s, you know that when they go into an apartment, you look at the number on it, sure as shooting, it goes right along with what the scene is all about. It's already predestined. They didn't know that when they wrote the script, but it fits.
Wow.
There was somebody that just wrote in, and I didn't catch the name. It looked like, there it is. What is that? Juice? Okay. She says, hi, ladies. I would like to ask if you think there may be some sort of curse on my family, as it seems we can never catch a break. Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm feeling. We can all take a poll if you want. I'm not actually feeling curse. I'm feeling ancestral pattern, or so let's think about this. We're saying like my grandparents could never catch a break. My parents could never catch a break. I can't catch a break. I don't necessarily know that it's been a curse put on your family, but it feels like a pattern. So here's the great news with the pattern. We just have to identify it to be able to start shifting it and really turning it into something that you want more of. I'll let the other ladies answer on what they're feeling.
I have to agree with you.
I do too.
Most definitely.
Yeah, goes up for that. Yes. So she says, by the way, talking of numbers, my cat wakes me frequently at 222, 333, or 444. Well, it sounds like your cat is extremely advanced.
Well, the funny thing is the numbers total 3, 6s, and 9s. 3 is communication, 6 deals with family, and 9 deals with the world at large, or the spiritual side.
That's right.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
So there's your answer. Now we have Steve on line 1. So let's bring Steve on to the show. Hey, Steve.
Hi, how are you?
We are all great. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm wondering if, not so much if I want to speak to anyone, but if anyone wants to speak to me, would actually be my question.
Oh, I like that. Do you have a dad in spirit? Because I have a male energy coming in above me.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so we're going to start with dad because that's the first energy that I have. And part of this is about him wanting to say he might not have been able to always understand your perspective or your viewpoint, but he sees the larger picture now. So unlike earlier when we were talking about the grandmotherly figure who's just in the process of letting go, your dad's soul has expanded beyond that. And he is at the point where he's saying, I see you and I understand now all of these things that you are showing me or were trying to tell me. He's also showing me a lot of coins, so pay attention to finding coins from him. And he's showing me the numbers 1212. So I don't know if you look at the clock and it's 1212 or if December or the 12th of a month has a specific meaning, but I'm seeing 12. So I need to acknowledge that. And Patricia's going to add that up to 3 or PK, right? Yeah.
Communication. It's communication.
There you go.
Yeah. So I would say this, please, Steve, be aware that your loved ones are talking to you from the other side. They're just using different means than maybe you're used to communicate to you. But they're also telling me that you're starting to get a little more psychic. So have you noticed this yet?
Unfortunately, yes. And the reason why I say unfortunately is a lot of things have been tapping into my head, so to speak.
Okay. So here's the thing. I would never say being psychic's unfortunate, but what I would say is you might need to use some parameters to guide and direct it. So you need to have a talk with your guides and you need to say, okay, I'm open to hearing this information. Maybe I don't want to know this information, but let's put some parameters on this so it doesn't feel unfortunate because all of this information is plain. And if you're able to tune into it, it's actually like someone handing you a roadmap instead of saying, hey, just figure out how to drive across the country. What they're doing is they're giving you the Google GPS map to get there. So they're giving you the navigation tools for your life. So it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, but you might want to put parameters on it.
That's exactly what I meant. You described it perfectly for me. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
And as far as coins go, you're dead on the money with that.
Oh, well, wonderful. Thank you for validating that.
Yes, and it's unbelievable. Yeah. My aunt recently passed away. My Aunt Josephine. And she was saying to me, I'm always going to be with you. And I understand, when people are close to you and they love you, they say that. But she had this tremendous fear of death. And I was wondering if there's any possibility that she is actually, what's the word I'm looking for? If she's at peace with that right now.
Yeah, 100%. Because
if the fear is gone, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, the fear is gone because she was welcomed home into the love.
Right.
Her fear was of herself being judged or not having been good enough in this lifetime. But now that she's on the other side and she realizes that that was never the case or the situation, there's like, she shows me doing like a backsplash into the pool. It's like, woo, I'm free. I'm on this, so yeah, her fear definitely disappeared. But what we know too is that a lot of times when people are getting ready to transition, their loved ones and their angels are in the room days before because they're trying to coax them, make it comfortable, let them start feeling that heavenly love so that they know where they're going and they can move into it with more comfort.
What you just said to me is exactly what she said to me. Her worry was her being judged, the judgment.
Yeah. And so from my near-death experiences and the research I've done on these and all the people I know that have had them, here is what I can tell you, I have never talked to someone who's had a near-death experience, myself included, who was ever judged by God, source, the divine on the other side. What happens is we look back over our lives and we say, oh, could have done that differently. Oh yeah, maybe I should have done this, right? But it's really us looking back at the opportunities that we might have missed or taken, because before we come into this lifetime, it's already been blessed by source. We are allowed to have this experience, right? No matter how off course you go, it's already been blessed, is what I want to say. So that doesn't mean you shouldn't try to be a good human. Everyone should try to be good humans. But at the same time, there's no one judging us. We get to realize where we could have made different choices, but it's never done in a negative way. It's always like a learning experience.
Right.
But is the slate wiped clean, so to speak, even for a person, let's say like my father, who was an atheist?
Well, yeah, because there is no slate. There's actually no one keeping score ever, and there is no slate. So when your dad, let's talk about, I do believe in what I would call pre-life planning or soul plans. So for your dad, he said before he ever came into his body as an infant, he said, I'm going to plan this life where I go into planet Earth and I pretend that there is no God, source, divine, that I am absolutely cut off from that heavenly energy flow, and I'm here all on my own, and I'm going to find my way, and I'm going to meet people, and he planned his life. So at the moment that his soul decided, or over the time that his soul took to choose this plan, God, source, the divine said, okay, I love you. Have a good trip. I'll see you when you come home.
That's when we go, oops.
Yeah.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, because I like to say to people who have children or pets that they love, or even family members that you might love, if I took my 2-year-old to the park, which none of my kids are 2 anymore, and they had said, I'm not going home with you, you're not my mom, I wouldn't have just driven off and abandoned them. I would have just waited for them to decide I was their mom and they were hungry for dinner and I was taking them home, right? I mean, and this is how Source sees us. Source lets us have our human experience because it's truly for the evolution of our soul. It's not really about Michelle as a human. It's about the evolution of Michelle's soul.
True. Yes.
Good
Thank
explanation.
you for calling, Steve. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye. We have a little bit of time left, but I want to make sure everybody knows about your website, michelleclaire.net, where they can get you for private readings. They can schedule that right on your site. And you also offer group readings, and they can get on your mailing list and be alerted to all the group readings that you do. And I know you've been involved in so much, lectures and workshops and all kinds of things. So everybody join Michelle's mailing list. That way you can keep track of her, know when she's going to be near where you are. And of course, you can always have a private session by whatever it is, Zoom or Skype that you offer.
Zoom.
You can see how much fun it is, how exciting it is, and how insightful Michelle is. She gets great guidance from her people.
Definitely.
Thank you.
So real quick.
Our little angel between the angels.
And look at the angels behind her. There they are.
That's what it said.
I have a very quick question and a thank you also to you, because you were one of the very first mediums that said to me, you've had this ET experience when you were a child, which, as you know, you opened the door for me on that, which I'm so grateful. Because so many people had kind of said it, and I'm like, no, I'm not in your club. Wish I was, but thank you. But I am in the club. So I wanted to thank you for that realization. It was so clear the way you communicated that to me. There was no denying it. But I did want to ask you, where the heck are they?
I know, right? Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the thing. First of all, I just got to see my first UFO in this month in Sedona. So actually, it was pretty exciting. I was like, and it took about 2 seconds and it was gone. So if you blinked, you would miss it. But here's what I will tell you. I think that we are going to be seeing more and more and more and more contact with ETs significantly over the next 2 years. And I believe by 2027, it will be a well-known fact that they're existing and they're here. So that is really getting ready to start showing up. Now, the human side of me says, oh gosh, what's going to make this happen, right? Because we like to do things the hard way in our human form. And to me, it feels like it will be some sort of possible intervention type energy. But I do believe that we really are going to find out that they exist and they are here to help us, and that there's a lot that we can learn from them.
Well, that's all positive. I like all of that. It's a very good message. And I like the thought of us having experiences rather than the government trying to own it or the Vatican trying to own it. Like they're trying to own everything supernatural. And what I say is it's not up to them to own it. It belongs to the people. Right. So that's us. So it's a wonderfully positive message. Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be happening on a higher pay grade than the Vatican or the government. That's what I think.
It's good to know. That's good to know.
Right. So, do you see anybody floating around? Any ETs floating around that I should say hello to?
For you, oh my goodness, you have this bluish energy around you. So I don't know how many of them are you connecting with nowadays.
Really?
Well, your channel for ETs is on. This is what I mean. You are this ET satellite dish, Patricia, and you are like, I just feel it's like, who do you want to tune into? I mean, this is like what I feel like for you. But for you, a lot of the communication with them, because I do want to say whether you're aware of it or not, you're already telepathically communicating with them. Yeah. But let's think about this as when you are watching the TV, right? You know, you're on channel 110, but there's something on 19 and 111 and 112, right? Let's guide and direct it to what information do you want or who do you want to receive it from?
Oh, it's a great idea. I'm easily distracted. So it's a great idea.
Yeah, pick a channel. Let's pick a channel.
Yeah. Too many hands in the pot, that's for sure.
Well, thank you, Michelle. And PK, do you have any quick questions for Michelle before we have to go?
How does a person know when their guides are truly around them? You know, somebody said to me, but I don't feel anything. Is there an opportunity where they could actually feel the guide being around them, or do they just assume it's always there?
Yeah. So number one, I think you should assume your guides are always there. But on top of that, we do have things we will feel hot, tingling, goosebumps. Our body is an antenna. Mm-hmm. So it is resonating with the vibrational frequency that is changing in the room or changing depending on the energy in the room. So be aware of what your body's telling you. For some of my friends, they'll be like, oh, my right leg is shaking. That means it's a yes, right? It's not a bad thing, but their body's telling them what to do. People will use their hands. So they are always communicating with you. You will get a physical sensation sometimes, but other times when we want to connect with our guides, our angels, we've got to get really quiet up here, really, really quiet, because we're so busy talking to ourselves that we're actually talking over what they are trying to tell us most of the time.
Exactly.
So finding that stillness is key.
Mm-hmm. I think it's hard to quiet the mind down when especially when you're trying to direct it to the spiritual side. Because we're always so afraid of making a mistake. I don't want them to know how much I've muddled up this week. Help me out. Instead, work with them. Not them.
We've got 1 minute, ladies. So unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodnight. And I'm having too much fun to say goodnight.
I know. This has been great. Thank you so much for having me.
Gotta come back.
It's fun for us.
Busy you are, but this has been an absolute delight. You are so wonderful. Everybody, you should be calling Michelle for a private reading or joining one of her groups so you can get a group reading. This has been absolutely great tonight. So we're going to plan on this again. We're going to grab you and put you back on the show again. But thank you so much. And everybody will be back next week. We're actually going to be talking to Larry Warren about Rendlesham Forest and the UFO landing that occurred there that he watched and was a part of and then was shadowed by the shadow government. We're going to hear all about it next week. Mm-hmm. And everybody go to michelleclaire.net, say hi, sign up for her website information, her newsletter information, and stay in touch. Okay? So everybody, Be back next week. We'll see you on the Blue Highway. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.